Good morning, children. Today we will do the story Madam Rides the Bus from the first flight. Now, children, I hope with the good wishes of Diwali, you have hopefully passed the Diwali very nicely. Then Chhat is coming. For that, I have all my good wishes for you. And today you have your report card also, definitely. Some of you have seen, some of you are yet to see. I think you will find out your mistakes, your lacuna, that where you have to improve, how you have to do now, what will be your course of study now. Now the analysis will start, will begin, and you will prepare yourself in that way for a better result in mock and in final. Okay, let us begin with the story Madam Rides the Bus. This is the story of a very small girl who actually rides a bus. This ride is actually a journey of her life also. She moves from one place to another by a bus. In the same way, actually, she is moving onwards in her long way of life. She learns a life lesson through this journey. So that is a journey of her means journey from what to say, journey of wisdom, you can say. So that is the interesting thing. Apparently, the story seems to be very simple, and of course, it's simple also. Apparently, it seems to be like that, but there is an inner meaning, inner thought. You have to think about the story after you finish your reading the story. It is a story written by Valli Kannan, who is actually it is a pseudonym of R.S. Krishna Swami. He is a Tamil writer, and let us read the story now. There was a girl named Valliammai who was called Valli for short. For our convenience, we will call her Valli. She was 8 years old only, very small and very curious about things. Of course, this is the age of curiosity for the children to know about the surroundings, and Valli was like that. Her favorite pastime was standing in the front doorway of her house. Very means what to say, children, they have different pastimes, I mean, very interesting pastimes, and her pastime was to stand in front of doorway of her house watching what was happening in the street outside. There were no playmates of her own age on her street, and this was about all she had to do. As there was not so much such friend of her age group, so her pastime was to stand in front of the door and to watch the street outside. But for Valli, standing in front door was every bit as enjoyable as any of the elaborate games other children played. So don't feel pity for Valli. Valli was very happy and satisfied with her pastime, that is to watch the street. See, if you play a game, there can be some monotony because the same type of game you are playing. But if you stand in front of the street and watch the people and the different means, who are passing, buses are passing, the vehicles, the people. So every time, every moment, the scene is changing. So there is no question of monotony. Every time it's a new thing that is coming up. So Valli enjoyed that. And according to her, it's a better than some other games. Watching the street gave her many new, unusual experiences, of course. Different people, different happenings, so different experiences, every time new experience, no repetition. The most fascinating thing of all was the bus that traveled between her village and the nearest town. That was the most interesting thing that she enjoyed on the street. That is the bus that used to travel from her village to the town. It passed through her street each hour, once going to the town and once coming back. The sight of the bus filled each time with a new set of passengers. Of course, new set of passengers, new faces, new expressions, and was a source of unending joy for Valli. It might not be enjoyable for all, but Valli was such a girl which was very interesting for her. She used to enjoy. Day after day, she watched the bus, and gradually a tiny wish crept into her head and grew there. After watching bus every day passing through her street, a small tiny wish slowly crept into her head and grew there. She wanted to ride on that bus, even if just once. Then slowly and slowly, the bus attracted her, pulled her so much that she wished to enjoy one bus ride, at least if for once. This wish became stronger and stronger until it was an overwhelming desire. Slowly and slowly, she watered her small wish, fed her small wish, and slowly the small wish took the shape of a big tree, of a big desire to, overwhelming desire to have a bus ride. Wally would stare wistfully at the people who got on or off the bus when it stopped at the street corner. She was very inquisitive to watch those people, the passengers who were going in, coming out of the bus, rather getting off the bus. Their faces would kindle in her longings. Their faces, the faces of the passengers, would kindle, would light a fire in her mind, dreams and hopes. Every face was new, and every face of the passengers used to brought a new message for Valli. And her dream was ripening, her wish was ripening. If one of her friends happened to ride the bus and tried to describe the sights of the town to her, Wally would be too jealous to listen and would shout in English, "Proud, proud." Neither she nor her friends really understood the meaning of the word, but they used it often as a slang expression or disapproval. The jealousy, the grudge that you have traveled the bus and you have gone to the town and I could not. So she used to get so angry with this, so jealous that she used to give slangs to her friends. Now, what was the slang? Because stock of words, vocabulary was also very short, very small. So according to her, proud is a good slang to give. And so she used to shout, "Proud, proud." And neither the friend nor she, nobody knew what was the meaning of the word proud. Over many days and months, Valli listened carefully to conversations. Now, Valli used to overhear the conversation among the passengers because she has to gather information. If she has to if she has to ride the bus and go to the town, then she has to gather information. So she used to listen carefully to the conversations between her neighbors and people who regularly used the bus. And she also asked a few discreet questions very carefully, with all responsibility. She used to ask few questions, very safe questions, here and there to accumulate the information. This way, she picked up various small details. Now, various small details, what are the details that were needed, were required for her journey, almost were collected. Small details about the bus journey. The town was 6 miles from her village. The fare was 30 paise one way, and which is almost nothing at all. That is also a big thing because she is a small girl of age. She doesn't know the value. Whether 30 paise is too big or too less, she doesn't know. So this way she picked up various small details. The town was 6 miles. The fare was 30 paise, which is almost nothing at all. She heard one well-dressed man say, but to Valli, who scarcely saw that such much money from one month to the next. It seemed a fortune. It seemed a fortune because that means it's not very costly. So that she understood that 30 paise can be managed. And the trip to the town took 45 minutes. So three things are important. What is the distance? Basically two things, that what is the time, how much time is needed because she has to manage the time, and how much money. So she had to manage time and she had to manage money. If these two most important information were ready with her, the rest of the things could be managed. So on reaching town, if she stayed in her seat and paid another 30 paise, she would return home on the same bus. So now she has chalked out the plan that if she boards the bus, if she goes to the town, 45 minutes, 30 paise. Then she would have to wait for some time over there. The same bus would return, and for the return journey, if she pays another 30 paise, then 45 and 15 minutes layover time in the town. So that means on reaching town, if she stayed in a seat and paid another 30 paise, she could return home on the same bus. This meant that she could take the 1 o'clock afternoon bus and reach the town at 1:45 and be back home by about 2:45. That means not even 2 hours full. So if she could manage these 2 hours, then she would be able to take a bus ride. On and on went her thoughts as she calculated and recalculated, planned and replanned. Now the planning, replanning, calculation, gathering strength, a strength of mind, courage, all were going on. Well, everything now is ready for Valli. One fine spring day, the afternoon bus was just on the point of leaving the village and turning into the main highway when a small voice was heard shouting, "Stop the bus, stop the bus!" And a tiny hand was raised commandingly. Mark the word, commandingly. No, Miss, the way she stopped the bus showed her confidence. It was not a feeble request, it was a command. The bus slowed down to a crawl, and the conductor, sticking his head out the door, said, "Hurry then, tell whoever it is to come quickly." Actually, the conductor thought that this small girl has been sent by someone of the family member who wants to board the bus. So the elder person has asked the girl to make the bus stop and he is taking some time to come. So the conductor said that ask that person to come first so that the bus can start. "It's me," shouted Vali. "I'm the one who has to get on." By now, the bus had come to a stop, and the conductor said, "Oh, really? You don't say so?" "Yes, I simply have to go to town," said Valli, still standing outside the bus. "And here's my money." She showed him some coins. Okay, but first you must get on the bus," said the conductor, and he stretched out a hand to help her out. The conductor accepted it, that okay, fine, you want to get into the bus and you have the fare also, so definitely first you board the bus. And he stretched out his arm to help her. "Never mind," she said. "I can get on by myself. You don't have to help me." So Valli felt insulted that she is quite grown up and she can pay her own, so she doesn't need any help from anyone to board the bus. The conductor was a jolly sort and a very funny person, fond of joking. Oh, please don't be angry with me, my fine madam. If I have hurt you, I am sorry, my fine madam. Please don't be angry with me, he said. Here, have a seat right up there in front. Everybody move aside, please. Make way for my madam. That is the queen is coming, so please give way. She must go and she must get her seat. The funny conductor, in that way, make a way for the small girl Valli to sit in the bus. It was a slack time of day, afternoon, and there were only 6 or 7 passengers on the bus. They were all looking at Valli and laughing with the conductor. Even the other passengers also started enjoying Valli's attitude, Valli's way of delivery. So they all enjoyed with the conductor. Valli was overcome with shyness. Avoiding everyone's eyes, she walked quickly to an empty seat and sat down. Valli also could feel she felt ashamed, and she made her way and she got a seat to sit in the bus. May we start now, madam? The conductor asked, smiling. Then he blew his whistle twice and the bus moved forward with a roar. It was a new bus. Its outside painted a gleaming white with some green stripes along the sides. Inside, the overhead bars shone like silver. And directly in front of Valli, above the windshield, there was a beautiful clock. The seats were soft and luxurious. So for Valli's first ride, definitely the bus was also such beautiful that it would add to the charm of her ride of the bus journey. Valli devoured everything with her eyes. Such a new world in front of Valli. So she was devouring. Devour means what? To eat something in a haste, fast. Here also Valli was eating through her eyes. All the sights, all the things, everything in the bus, passenger, that dream that she was dreaming for such a long time now is coming true. So she was very excited to enjoy that. Okay, and she was devouring, she was enjoying every moment, every bit of the journey. But when she started to look outside, she found her view cut off by a canvas blind, like you can say a small curtain, you can say, that covered the lower part of her window. So she stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. She could not see, so she stood up on the seat. The bus was now going along the bank of a canal. The road was very narrow. On one side there was a canal, and beyond it palm trees, grassland, distant mountains, and the blue sky. Beautiful outside. On the other side was a deep ditch, and then acres and acres of green fields, green, 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 as far as the eye could see. What a beautiful description of sight, means as if we are also riding a bus where the means nature is such beautiful that on one side it's only blue and on the other side it's green, green and green. It was also wonderful. Suddenly she was startled by a voice. Listen, child, said the voice, you should not stand like that. Sit down. Sitting down, she looked to see who had spoken. It was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned for her, but she was annoyed by his attention. The man was really concerned about the small girl who was standing on the seat. Definitely there was a risk of falling down. But Valli did not enjoy it. She was very annoyed that somebody was paying means so much attention to her. She was not at all enjoying it. She doesn't want it. She wants to be alone and to enjoy the bus journey. No preaching, no sermon. There's nobody here who is a child, she said haughtily. I have paid my 30 paise like everyone else. You have paid 30 paise and you are a passenger. I have also paid 30 paise. I am also an equally a passenger like you. So if I do not poke into you, you don't have to poke me. The conductor chimed in. Oh, sir, but this is a very grown-up madam. Don't talk to her like that. She is very grown-up, madam. Do you think a mere girl could pay her own fare and travel to the city all alone? Do you believe that a mere girl can pay? She is a grown-up. That is why she can pay 30. Please don't disturb her. Bali shot an angry glance at the conductor and said she could understand that the conductor was also making fun of her. I'm not a madam. Please remember that. And you have not yet given me my ticket. I'll remember, the conductor said, mimicking her tone. Everyone laughed, and gradually Valli too joined in the laughter. So it was a very happy journey. The conductor punched a ticket and handed it to her. Just sit back and make yourself comfortable. Why should you stand when you have paid for a seat? Because if you say her that you sit, she would not listen. She doesn't like preaching. So she has to be explained in a different way. Then it was explained to her that why are you wasting our money? You have paid for the seat. And if you do not enjoy the seat, then there is no meaning of paying the money. So it's better you sit and enjoy the seat and enjoy the ride. Because I want to, she answered, standing up again. Because she cannot see it, so she cannot, because she cannot see, so she could not accept it, the proposal. But if you stand on the seat, you may fall and hurt yourself when the bus makes a sharp turn or hits a bump. That's why we want you to sit down, child. I'm not a child, I tell you, she said irritably. I'm 8 years old. Of course, how stupid of me. 8 years, my. I am also such a fool that I forget that you are 8 years old and you are a madam. The bus stopped, some new passengers got on, and the conductor got busy for a time. Afraid of losing her seat, Valli finally sat down. Now she thought that new passengers have come, she might lose her seat, so now she sat down. An elderly woman came and sat beside her. Are you all alone, dear? She asked Valli as the bus started again. Valli found the woman absolutely repulsive. She did not like the woman. Such big holes she had in her earlobes and such ugly earrings in them, and she could smell the betel nut the woman was chewing and see the betel juice that was threatening to spill as if it would anytime it may spill over her lips at any moment. Ah, who could be sociable with such a person? No, she is not impressive. Valli did not find this lady to be talked to. Yes, I'm traveling alone, she answered curtly. And I have got a ticket too. So don't think that I am moving without a ticket. I have a ticket, I have paid the money, and with all right, I am moving. I am riding the bus. Yes, she's on her way to town, said the conductor, with a 30 paise ticket. The conductor was thoroughly enjoying. Oh, why don't you mind with your own business, said Valli. But she laughed all the same, and the conductor laughed too. But the old woman went on with a drivel. Is it proper for such a young person to travel alone? Is it right that you are a small girl, you are traveling alone? Do you know exactly where you are going in town? What's the street? What's the house number? You need not bother about me. I can take care of myself, Valli said, turning her face towards the window and staring out. She doesn't like anybody to get into her own world. She wants to be alone in her own world. She wants to enjoy it, and she wants to enjoy the inside the bus. She wants to enjoy outside the bus. The whole journey she wants to thoroughly enjoy and not to get disturbed. Okay, children, let us stop here today, and then by that time I would ask you, I wish that the oral comprehension check you please prepare yourself. Okay, and Enjoy the result today. All the best to all of you. Thank you.